Hey everybody, welcome to episode 8 of my CrackPack series where we're building a military base. So, it's been a few days since the last episode. I've been doing some work. I spent a lot of time actually doing one specific task and getting nothing else done. What I was working on was making balsa wood, which means I had to get into forestry and I had to learn some bees, and it all was a failure, but I ended up getting it eventually. So today I want to do what I was going to call a militarization of the base. I felt like some of the things we've been doing so far haven't been very military. So been a lot of industrial buildings. Not since the beginning has it really been military. But so I want to get some stuff put in to make it kind of leaning towards that direction. I don't know how much we're going to get done today. I don't know if we're going to do much building on camera. The things I wanted to build, I did some test builds and they were not going to be very easy to do on camera. So I guess at first we're going to start off just to show what I've been working on. I have been doing some more decoration on the buildings. If we take a look here, just little things like this pipe, this fence going all around the building. I need to get a texture for it. I haven't decided what I want it yet. I added some snow. It's kind of like the power plant where it's not fully snowed on. I added this little cover here for the exhaust just because I felt like it needed something. Been adding some air conditioning, and that's about it here. A little frame around the windows. On the inside, not much new. I still need to work on the lighting. That's something I haven't figured out yet because I love these lamps, but they don't put out any more light than a torch does, so I need a lot of them, and they're not very cheap. Looking in here, I've been working on just kind of like some shelves. They kind of work, they kind of don't. Have some more barrels here. One thing I wanted to do was to use these cardboard boxes as decoration. What these do is to make them you need sawdust, and you get sawdust, the mechanism version at least, out of a precision sawmill, which will give you 6 planks for each one piece of log you put in, and then it will also give you sawdust. So you use 4 of those, you put them together, and it makes you a cardboard box. And these don't stack, but the way they work is you right click on any block pretty much, and it'll cover it in the cardboard box there, and then you can replace it. Oops. You shift right click. Oh great. Apparently it takes off my thing. You shift right click and it will take it off if I can find the right one. So like that, shift right, well, stop putting a box in my inventory, shift right click, and there you go. You get it moved. Now this one opened because of this is considered a solid block, but basically you can do that with anything you want. And what I want to do actually is just use it for decoration. I think it will look pretty good as decoration. I don't have a lot of space in here, it turns out. Dang it. Just like this, you take a cardboard box, boom, boom, boom. Well, we got cardboard boxes. So that's something I'm going to be using more often in my decoration builds. Nothing much more in here. I did add I meant to finish that one. Missed that one. But finish the supports up onto the roof. I also added these 2 I-beams that go around this smeltery, and then with these to look like it's holding it up, and I actually really like the way this came out. So let's fix what I have broken. Oh yeah, down here too. We did decoration down here. I used all that balsa wood to make these shelves, which I think have a very, very plain gray look, barely wood, which is what I like because I don't want everything to look so woody. So basically just have a bunch of decoration. All of the casts for Tinker's Constructs are here, all of them. and so I like the way they work perfectly with these shelves. So did that, just a couple tool racks. I got spare space, trash can for whatever I need in the future, and then pattern chest has all the patterns in it, and whatever things you need to do tinkers. So that's all ready. Basically this building is done. A couple little tweaks here and there. Got to do the lighting still. Let's sleep real quick. Still need to do the lighting, I think I said that. So much like any of my builds, it's always a work in progress because there's always something you can do to make them look better. Especially when we run a mod pack like this and stuff gets added all the time. So we're at that 98% completion rate for the building. So well, everything I do, I'll show you more. Over here we have a I guess a security guard placement. For some reason the words are escaping me, but it's just micro blocks. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So we have a little guard gate here. You can go in it. It's got a light, a chest with a walkie-talkie, and you can sit in it, but if you try to get out, you'll be on top of the building. So these walkie-talkies, they're not very cheap to make actually, and the way they work is you shift right click, it turns it on. I have yet to figure out how to change the channel from 1, but what it's supposed to do is actually make it so if someone else has a walkie-talkie, you can do voice over IP through the game, and I don't know how that actually works. So I don't plan on using them, so it doesn't matter. They're not very cheap, takes a bunch of steel and mechanism stuff, and unfortunately they don't work in item frames or in drying racks, so because the way they render, they're all weird. So yeah, it has to go in the box, and it makes me sad. Further on over here we have a tunnel which we've been going through on and off ever since episode 1 really, and I ended up finally getting around to building it. And this is all out of concrete, ICBM concrete and carpenter's blocks. The concrete here isn't very hard to make. It's kind of cheap. It's for it is for sand, for gravel, and a bucket of water. But to make the stuff, it's a little tedious because one crafting recipe makes you 8 of them. And so I made this thing called Liquid Crafter. What it does is it takes in water from this aqueous accumulator, and then you put in the template you want. It'll make the thing, and every time you pulse it, it'll make it. But so doing it manually kind of sucks. You can set up a clock. There's a thing called redstone clock somewhere around here, right there, and it will make a tick per. It will make a redstone pulse per tick. So if you need to make a lot of that concrete, it will be handy. For right now, I don't need to worry about it. Also over here, I did a little more exterior stuff on the power plant. We just have AC with a ducting vent going up right there. And there's also another one over here. Some more AC on the roof there. So here's another vent. If we go on the inside, don't get assaulted by the mini-me. Too late. We just have vents here and on the other side to match. And then going on the inside, I have one that runs the top here using aluminum instead of steel. And what I wanted to show you guys, and I want to put some more of those kind of shelves I built over there in here too. What I wanted to show, and I totally forgot now that I remember, is so you see these blocks here. If you look at it, this is a wedge of course, but these show steel, and that's a lot of steel to make, especially considering the pains we go through making it. And in fact they are not steel, the majority of them. The ones that are slopes are steel, but you have these blocks here called camouflage, and if I take anything, so these are easy to make. It's vines and wool. You take a camouflage block, place it down, and then you take any block you want and you camouflage it, and it will also say the name. So basically, and it doesn't take the material from you, and you can actually make these transparent you use a hammer or like a wrench, I think. Okay, this one doesn't. Oh, there we go. You right click and it'll make the side you click on transparent, so you could actually, you can't see it from that side, but you can from this side. So it actually makes really great like one-way glass. And so these are really cheap and a good way of not wasting your materials but getting the look you want. So I'll be using those a lot more often in the future. One thing is though, is they're technically electric, and if they get hit by something like an EMP pulse, then they will lose their texture. But since it's so easy to bring back, it's not a problem. I didn't make any over here, so don't have to worry about that. Moving on, we'll go back to the tunnel. Only one more thing really to talk about. This might be a short episode because I don't think we're going to get anything really built. What I want to do though is, actually maybe we'll do it here. Here we go. This watchtower. So I wanted to build another one of these on camera, and the micro-blocking that goes into it isn't really serious, but it takes time. And I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's all spruce. It's all kinds of different types of spruce, including the table is spruce. I'm thinking about dropping the floor. Excuse me. I'm thinking about dropping the floor one and putting a chest in here to put another walkie-talkie, because that one here. I'll show you how those fail. So we just have a rifle up here in case, you know, the guard needs to take a shot at somebody, and a light, of course. I want to have a lot more of these around the base. I'm kind of wary of putting up too many of them, because at first, because I don't want them to take up space for something else. I figured this was a good location. It's by the tunnel. If you're standing in it, you get a great view of this half of the island, at least this quarter of it. So we'll be putting those up all around the place, just kind of as we get buildings put in and there's extra space, we'll put more watchtowers. I am also working on a variant of this one that's smaller, that can go in more places. So yeah, I'm super happy about this, and it's one of the things that I feel like, you know, looking at this, that's a lot more military looking, is having that. And so two things I wanted to do today were, oh yeah, I was going to show you the walkie-talkie. So why these fail is, say, a drying rack, where you can put anything on the drying rack you want and it'll hold it for you, and it looks great, especially with the guns. But it doesn't work with the walkie-talkies, because that's what happens. Yeah, something to do with the way they're rendered. They're a massive failure. So that's not going to happen, unfortunately. It's the same with like item frames. So yeah, no walkie-talkies on display, unfortunately. Also the same thing for like putting them in a shelf. Not going to happen. So what I wanted to work on today too, some more military looking stuff. I've been playing, well, I guess I haven't been getting a lot of work done because I've recently been playing a lot of Battlefield 4. I ended up finally buying it after not liking the beta, and it's been on half off, so I figured I might as well get it because I've been wanting to play a shooter lately, and I didn't play Titanfall, and nothing about it really hooked me, although I probably should have played it. But yeah, I've been playing Battlefield 4. It's been good in a way, actually, because it's been giving me ideas for the base here. It's also, I was playing, like, looking at Metal Gear Solid 5 was doing similar, giving me some ideas. So, a little bit of inspiration. There's two things I want to do with the base along with the towers. One is something called a HESCO barrier, and I'll try to put a picture up for you guys. And the other is concrete barriers. And so one, the HESCO barrier is, it's kind of like, they come in like this accordion configuration, kind of, I don't know if they're made of canvas or what, but it's basically a cloth shell wrapped in wire, and they kind of expand out like an accordion would, and you fill them with material like sand or gravel, and they become they're much better than sandbags, and they become great barriers for taking like small arms fire, or for building defenses or whatever. It's just a really cheap way. It's been a lot more popular of a thing in the military since the second Iraq War in Afghanistan, because there's so much sand and stuff. So that's one thing that I've noticed playing games, and something that popped in my head that I didn't think of, but I should have, are HESCO barriers. So what I did was made a bunch of compressed sand here, which is taking 9 pieces of sand, and you put 9 pieces of sand and it makes you compressed sand. So basically I like the way it looks, and what I did was I made this thin glass, and what we're going to do is we micro block it. What is... oh wait. It's like, oh my god, how has that screwed me? How did my plannings work out so poorly? Because I need these. So we're going to have to use carpenter's blocks for these, but it'll work great because we use the glass, and with carpenter's blocks you can put that extra layer on, and what happens is it gives the sand that perfect look for a HESCO barrier. So I want to have those sort of things all around the base. We use sleep fit. All around the base, and in conjunction with some other stuff, and we'll work on that too. So I want to put these HESCO barriers up. I really don't like this snow drift I built here. For one, it's in the way of my road, and two, I just don't like the way it looks. So I want to put HESCO barriers up around the side of this. I don't think I could clean this out very quickly, because most of it isn't actually... some of it is. So it won't be too bad. Some of it's microblocks, some of it's other stuff, but I don't think I want to do... well, you know what? We're here, we might as well do it, right? So let's clean this up real quick. Most of these are micro blocks. I should get my micro block thing and bring it over here and put it away. Why do I hear a skeleton? These guys live through the daylight and all that stuff. So let's do this real quick. Hopefully get all this crap out of my way. I'll probably come through actually once I'm done with these and put sand or snow on top of them again. So basically what we're going to do is I want to have a line of these, and actually, now that I think of it, if I do this, it's just going to be a big waste. So, do a line like this, right? And then across here, well, I'm out of these, I should go get some more. But basically what I want to do is have it so it looks like it's full, and do this so it'll give us a look of the barriers along the side here. So I'm gonna have to get more carpenter's blocks. I think I have some somewhere. I've been doing so much carpenter's blocking that, like, I wouldn't even, I just have them everywhere right now. I should actually automate that at some point, but whatever. And just because I hate things being empty, I'm just gonna go and fill this up a little bit. But, so, it gives us a totally different look, and I'm pretty happy with it actually, more than the snow. And the purpose it's supposed to serve is to actually be a defensive measure. So that's something I'll work on a little bit more off camera, is getting those up. But I wanted to do another thing. Oh my god, I'm so full of stuff. Let's dump some of this in a chest. I don't want this episode to go on too long. I want to actually get some work done. Which I know sounds silly, considering I've totally procrastinated on this all week. And the way... I don't need that. Stairs. Okay. So another thing I wanted to do was barriers. So these things that we're going to do here are basically going to become common around the base. So in the future, they'll just show up. I'm not going to even really point them out, really, unless I do a bunch of them. I do have my chisel. Okay. We're going to take concrete. I don't think I need any more of it. And there's going to be two variations of this. Right here in front of the power plant, there's all this space. And I actually have a plan for this. It'll be something we come to later in our ever-increasing you know, upgrading project that occurs around here, around the base. Every time I come up with something new to do, I try to go around and fix it for everything else, which I haven't actually done over there. I need to redo the lighting so bad around here. What we're going to do is take a couple of these blocks. I'm going to micro block them down to panels. And then some of them are going to be posts. This. So, likely seen concrete barriers. Whoops. And if you've ever seen, I don't know, in video games, these are really common. Oh, I don't need posts. I need... probably need... I feel like I did this differently. Well, maybe that's okay. Microblocks, you drive me crazy. So what I'm doing here is using the partly weathered concrete on the bottom, and you see how it's darker here? And then we're going to use the regular concrete on the top, and it's going to give us a nice effect. Oh my gosh. Why do you do this to me, microblocks? Okay, so we take the regular concrete and panel it up. And basically, we just do this. So, they're not very tall. They're not going to do much to protect the building, very much. But what I want to do is have a row of these. I can actually go higher. I don't think 4 high will look good. Oops. 4 high might look okay. Of course, I need some more concrete. And there we go. And final touch is we take my trusty factory blocks. Get them down to corners, I think. Corners? No, not corners. And then that is like where you would hang, where you would hook these up to like a crane to drop them off. So basically what I want to do is have a line of these things along here. They might only go to here because, well, I could probably swing them along here too. So basically what I'm going to have is a line of concrete pillars that go along this way. Not concrete pillars, these concrete barriers. There'll be a little gap between each one just because I would like it to have a small gap, but I can't do that. Not gonna bother. I mean, could theoretically do it like this, where I have, well, is that even possible? I think so. Let's see if it's possible. We'll do some experimentation here. Do that, and I want something there, but I don't know if the corners are going to cut it. No, not really. So I mean, I could leave it like that. If only I could take this and put it along that way, but I can't. But what I can do is to make it look like this. Put these along here, and oops, I'm out. It would extend it a little bit, and then I would have much smaller gap between each of the barriers. So that might be a thing. I'm probably going to screw around with it and see if I like it. If I do, then I'll do it. I just don't like the way it looks like that. It looks funny to me. But I need to get a lot more of these built, and I wanted to show you at least one of them. And so what I think I'm going to do is take a quick break. We'll be back when I have these up, and then we'll probably call the episode here. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the Hisco barriers here at the officers' barracks. Just a whole line of them, and I think they look a lot better to me, at least more military-esque than that snowdrifted. Still should put some snow on it. That's one thing I have been putting off, is this icing and snowing around around base. I need to do it some more on the power plant and also on the workshop and stuff. But it's just kind of like I want to get the buildings done, and that kind of stuff I can do later. I'll get around to it. So we'll come back here. I did want to point out that this tunnel will be taking a left here to go down to where the supply depot is going to be. So it's just not finished yet. And it's going to be in the same style. So here's what I did in the break. I put up all these barriers. I ended up going with just one wide. It looks better. So I got a whole row of barriers, and I put some more Hisco barriers up as well. And then over here, a little more. I think this is actually going to be a great place for like an outpost, a guard, well not really outpost, but like a guard station or a different kind of watchtower. It might be good because maybe that kind of watchtower, like over there, over here, because you have this good view of this alleyway here, but it's not super great because there's the valleys. I mean, it's in a valley, so you don't see much. So I'm not sure yet what's going to go here. I'll figure it out. I also wanted to point these out. I'm not sure if I like their location right now, but this is like a small version. Like I guess if that's a tall, this is a short. So just, yeah, like that. I'm thinking about taking out this one and moving this one to like right here. I'm not sure. It's kind of looks fine like that. Kind of, I don't know. Let me know what you think about these. Basically, that's all we got going for us today. Of course, if I come up with more stuff, I'll be showing you in the future. I mean, this kind of things. Things that make the base look more military are kind of big right now. It's something I need to work on. Also, I'm going to be probably doing more of this stuff off camera between now and next episode. So yeah, that's look forward to that when we come back. See what kind of work I've done on it. Hopefully this wasn't too boring of an episode. We didn't really do a lot. We just kind of things that I feel are more necessary, or just more of a. This is really more of just a decoration episode. It wasn't really building anything. Next episode, I want to start working on the supply depot, and I've actually in my head come up with a pretty great idea for what I want it to be. Let's actually, we might actually do a double build at the same time, or a triple build. So this area is where we're going to do the work. And first of all, looking above, we have a tunnel here that's going to lead to it. This area here is going to be like a supply, it's going to be like a docks. We're going to have a dock that comes out this way into the ocean here. And then the two sides. So one side is going to be a like the factory, where we're going to have all our thermal expansion stuff and all our mechanism stuff and new things I need to build. And the other one is going to be the supply depot. The supply depot doesn't need to be that big because we're going to be using applied energistics, and it's basically more like a server room. Go away, guys. It's going to be more like a server room, so I'm not sure where it's going to go. I'm leaving space on top of this hill for building if it comes to it, but in the bottom, so basically I need to raise this dirt here needs to go up one to this level because this is like the level of the base. We're gonna have probably the supply depot will go into this building. Well, will be let's look first how much space I have over here. I have a reasonable amount to go into here. The thing is, I want to build like a warehouse, so maybe put them both on the same side. That could be something too, and leave that for something else. But basically what I want to have is, like, for the supply depot, it's going to be a big entrance here, if I put it here, for example, and a big open entrance. You go in, it'll be like a warehouse. We'll have some connexes out here in there, and shelves and stuff. And then in the back room, there'll be a server room database place where we keep all our it'll be our main storage for the base, because using applied energistics, it just takes hard drives and stuff and digitizes all your items, so it won't be a very big area for storage. So the supply depot will basically be more looks than anything, but the factory will have to take up more space because we have all the mechanisms stuff, and then all the thermal expansion stuff, which kind of is a redundancy in a way, but it's a little quicker, so at least depending what I need it for. I'm just going to have both, even if it's redundant, just because it'll I just want it. The thing is, though, with mechanism, there's a system for quadrupling your output, and it takes desalination, and you need this big tower and stuff, so it might be actually really good. I just pointed my finger, you won't be able to tell. You might actually be really good to build in this area. So we'll have we'll probably build it into the hill, maybe coming out a little bit. I mean, we have a lot of space between the tunnel there. We have all this space here, and then we have space from, you know, the other side of this Quonset hut over. So we have plenty of space. It won't have to be that big either. I mean, well, I don't know. I guess that's something we'll see when it comes to it. I want to get the supply depot done first. Thinking about it, maybe we'll start on building at least the base for the dock, and then we'll build the supply depot, and then build the factory, because I don't want to work. Maybe not work on them all at the same time. Depends on how bored I get. But that's the plan for the next few episodes. Hopefully this one's probably gone on longer than it should have, just considering we didn't get anything done. Really, I don't know. I like the way this is. You know, it's either for small arms fire. This is for small arms fire and rockets, whatever. It's just it's protection. And I guess I never really talked about the theme for the base. We're on an island. It's supposed to be like a permanent base slash outpost. Like it's in a hostile area, but these buildings are all permanent. So it's not like a big military army base, but more of a camp. Camps are generally pretty permanent too. So let me know what you think about this episode, whether you liked it or not. If you don't like me building these kind of things on camera, you let me know and I'll avoid that in the future, which I probably won't be doing much of this anyway, now that I've shown you the basics of it. They'll just be showing up. So I don't drag on any longer. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.